Why to love your hater? This matrix is about why to love your hater. I start up with a brain tattoo. You can be a history maker, or you can be liked by everyone around you. You can be both. The very nature of living your personal greatness and doing something otherworldly in our work of ours means you are going to have the think differently from the majority. You are going to have to install the habits and routines that most people don't do. You are going to have to live, talk, breathe, work, produce, create in a way that most people who are caring members of the cult of mediocrity just don't buy into. When you look at more people out in the world today, they are not judging, they are just reporting, but they are addicted to entertainment. They love growth spring. They are negative. They are toxic. Anyone who want to do anything great, they want to bring them down. They dismiss the game changers. They are just cutting through life, and so the very nature of your stepping up your game, living your greatest potential, owning your craft, documenting your field, and living the life that is legendary means you are going to have to live the 5% and make a decision to live a very few people do. What does that mean? It means you are going to be loudest. It means you are going to be ridiculous. It means you are going to be misunderstood, because leadership is a lonely sport, and it means you just might be hated. So this materialization is me sharing some of my thoughts on why they create value when people hate you. Now look, I try to be a decent human being. I work really hard on being loving. I try to treat people very well. A lot of my interior work is around compassion, living my values, operating from a place of grace, forgiving people, and being the most loving person in every room that I'm in. So please understand that the contest for this material season, few things are as important as being kind and decent and good, and operating from the place of your best humanity. So having said that, I think you are like me, and you also want to do something great in your career, and you also are fighting for your lostest dreams, and you also understand that material Twitter, cynics, and so they great value when people start to hate you. Look at J.G.I. was reading his biography and he said, he really knew that I was having an influence in the popular culture when people started hating me. If you look at a lot of the great authors, when their book go to number one globally, a lot of the amateurs actually start to say, oh, that is garbage, 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 garbage. I could put them down. I watched a documentary last night on Steve Aoki, the famous EDM electric dance music DJ, who is getting so much traction in the world right now, and he was talking about some of the comments that he sent in the social media. It was seem like garbage and boring and amateurish music and whatever. Even through his skill, just what the documentary called I sleep when I'm dead, and you just see the skill. You can just look at any great athlete, and you could look at any great scientist. You look at any great chief. You could look at any great artist. You could look at any great author. You could look at any great statesman. You could look at any world-class stepwoman. Anyone who has done something at an exceptional level, breed exciting and demission. The point is simply this: the very nature of doing something that very few people are willing to do means that the majority will laugh at you. Why? Because deep inside they have the opportunity to do something great too. Your example make them feel guilty. Let it so deeper at the deep emotional level. It brings up the shame of potential. It next breath and more people don't know this. This is very deep psychology, but when they see someone as the shining example of mastery, it brings up guilt. It brings up shame, and at a deep level, unconsciously, they know that they were born into this innocence. We all are born into this ridiculously great potential. We are all now to know this. You have so much more in you than you are currently expressing to the world. You know that you have the opportunity of mastery every day, but it is because of your and my work nature that we don't live it. That we watch too much TV, or that we gossip, or that we miss opportunities, or that we all allow fear versus bravery to rule the day, or that we don't install the habit of mastery. Here has another idea. Genius is less about your genetic and it is more about your habits. We own one genius, but how many people are willing to install the habit that will guarantee genius? So, what do we do? It is a lot of easier to throw look at the icon than to do what the icon did to make them so successful. And let it not forget, when we see someone on an NBA court doing imaging that thing, or when we walk into an art gallery like a free in Florence, or we go to Vatican City to look up and we see Michelangelo chapel. It is a lot easier to say the people are genius, though people have a different genetic coding than we do. That's why I could do that too if I'm willing to make the sacrifice doing learning, put in the training time, say no to the distractions, forget about spending my life every day doing what make me feel reassured and start doing what is truly important. That is why there are so many dismissers, cynics, and haters in the world. Because it is easier to be a victim. Even society itself did build a good, which, which, which if you are doing something hard, you are doing something wrong. Actually, to be a great athlete champion, you got to go to up against your limits. You got to get up early and do the training time. You got to be willing to suffer the pain or growing your muscle. Well, that is the case for any sport, any skill. So you have a majority that look for a life too easy. Watch the easier video, hang out with the easy people, speak the easy conversation, do the easy work. Then you've got to raise to write or produce or read the difficult book. They go to the difficult training course. They make the time to get up early and watch the online training. They have the difficult conversation. They do the difficult run part that push them right to the edges of their limit. Because as you go to your limits, the limit expand, and that's how they grow. So that why there are a few people who actually get to place called work class. And I'm subjecting to you with great love and respect is simply this. You do have a choice. You can listen to your hater. You can be one of the haters. You can join the victim hate. You can dismiss people who are doing great things, or you can reach into yourself and ask yourself the fundamental question: what I what do I want to stand for the rest of my life? Do I really want to rise mastery? Do I want to get to the last hour of last day? And now that it took everyone's of the human potential